fuck is up, everybody? Welcome back to DFW Punk Mayhem.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time I'm having a punk band on. It only took like a year to have a punk band on, but I'm doing it. And I'm welcoming the guys in Vile and Devoid. Guys, how are y'all today?
Good, man.
Chilling, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having us,
Yeah.
Billy.
Thanks,
Super
dude.
fun.
Fuck yeah. So why don't y'all guys introduce yourselves and what you do in the band, please?
I'm Mac. I'm the primary songwriter, and I play guitar and vocalize.
I'm Mike Boss. I'm the bass player, and I try to keep up with this guy every time we play.
I was gonna say the speed was unreal. But we'll get into that in just a second. Get out your pins, your skateboards, and your papers because we need to go over a quick history of Vile and Devoid. So take us back to the very beginning, 101.
Man,
Yeah,
I didn't really even think about talking about that. So I used to live in Brooklyn, as did Mike. And I started writing music for the Vile and Devoid idea almost like 6 years ago. But as anybody that's done bands and shit, you know how it goes. Like, you'll get a couple guys together and it'll be really fun, and you know, but so and so will get too busy, you know. So I could never get guys to commit, but I kept on writing the music. So when I moved back here a couple of years ago, I got together with some of these dudes, and it was great. And they were actually willing to get together and rehearse and, you know, learn all the licks and shit. So, but yeah, I was listening to a bunch of like Slayer and early Anthrax and Bathory's first record. Bad Brains, Cro-Mags, like just like early, just like hardcore. And what's funny is that, you know, this is the punk podcast, but the real truth of the matter is that all this music was my attempt to write metal. It just came out, you know. I'm just not brutal enough. I don't have a big enough amp.
You know, it was funny because I remember. I first saw y'all at Brain Dead Brewing. Y'all played my boys in Beer Break, and I'm a big fan of Beer Break. I've had them on the podcast earlier. They played my second house party. We played a house party together with them back in July, I believe. Yeah, in July. It was a house in Cedar Hill, and I was trying to get people to come out. You know, but when it's your first house party and it's in an awkward town like Cedar Hill, the town that doesn't really get a lot of traction for shows unless they're house parties, really couldn't get into my base out there. But I remember playing it in front of a bunch of new people, which was really cool. But I remember Beer Break going on first, and like fucking Delton comes out, literally just chugs an entire beer as the intro's going, throws that shit like down the hallway, and just starts. Fuck, it was so badass, and like
he's a good front man.
I've now made it like every like my mission to try to catch every show I can because that shit blew me away. Shout out to you, Delton. Congratulations on getting the Pitbull shirt because as of last Friday, not yesterday Friday, but the Friday before it, motherfucker became Pitbull. No, Saturday. God, I'm getting my shit mixed up. So congratulations to you, by the way.
That's cool.
Shouting me out.
Yep.
Hell yeah. But not to take away from you guys at all. I need to actually get back on track. So,
dude, space out, man. We don't really have much to say. Yeah.
Oh, I can make shit cheap. But I remember when I first heard your demo, because this is actually the first band that actually hit us up, which I fucking love that. If you do that, I will try my absolute hardest to make sure I get you on because I really appreciate when someone watches this shit and they're like, dude, I want to do this. I want to be on this.
Totally, yeah.
I appreciate that. So you sent me the demo,
and
when I first listened to it, I honestly thought you were more a crossover. Kind of like a, maybe not hardline like SOD, but like testing around in that area.
Definitely. Oh yeah, sure.
But then like when I saw y'all live, I definitely saw the more punk side to it, which I still was like, this is still really good because the one song that really popped out to me was Ignorant.
Yeah, sure.
Just like you belted out like the vocals, I'm like that's how punk needs to be done. if punk was like this, there would have never, ever been the stereotype of punk is dead. If everyone was just doing that instead of trying to overly experiment.
Sure. Yeah.
But I mean, for those who don't know, Brain Dead Brewing is like a little restaurant / like brewery in Deep Ellum that has started doing Thursday shows that Tyler's been doing. Shout out to you, Tyler. I'll see you next Saturday. Ooh, I just accidentally spoiled the next episode. I think I did. Oops.
I can edit that.
No, I'm not going to edit it. I fucked up. I'm just going to keep it. But, so Tyler's been doing that, putting on a lot of bands, like 2 bands for Thursday shows. It's a free show. You can come out. It's an outside venue. We just sit out and drink beers and just have fun for a couple hours.
That's a great thing he's got going.
Yeah, it is.
I can say so.
It's a really good idea. I definitely want to get Squash on it eventually. It'd be a lot of fun. So it can kind of be rough sometimes. Like the weather was like really cold the other week. Like a couple weeks before y'all played it.
It was like 20 degrees or something.
I went to go see Combat and Cesspool Corruption.
Okay.
And they were out there, and it was like 28 degrees, and it was just barreling. It was just fucking horrible. Like Tyler literally got plywood that he found and just started breaking it up just to throw it in the fire pit. He was like, wait, is that the wood that has like chemicals in it? I don't fucking care. It's cold as shit. Luckily, it wasn't that cold when y'all were playing, but it was still...
It was cold, man.
Yeah, it was...
Yeah.
It's like 38, 40, something like that.
Yeah. I don't have any of my cold muscles anymore, too, man. Like, I was trying to play, like...
So how did y'all come about getting that show? How did that show get booked for you guys?
Man, just like I reached out to you, I reached out to Tyler.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, who I've actually been from, I think, like, the second week I was here, like, as soon as I moved here, I was like, I just started researching, like, the local metal shows and, like, the, local hardcore and stuff like that, because, it's just starting from scratch, knowing what was going on.
That's a fucking ocean to jump into.
Yeah.
We got a fucking scene here.
Yeah. It's, you know what, man? Kalia was one of the first bands that I saw open, and they opened up for, it was them and Nile and who else was playing? But they opened up for Nile.
Holy shit.
And it was a great show. I've always been a huge Nile fan, and it was like one of the first times I've seen Nile and been like, man, I think the opening band kind of like stole my heart a little bit more than the headliner this time.
Yeah.
But after I met him then, and eventually reached out to him when I found out that they were doing those things, and it made me stoked because I feel like Dallas has got like an excess of, great bands, but not that many great venues that are down to do like easy shows, all age shows, easy just like I don't know. Like I've tried to shout at like 3 Links a couple times and stuff like that. I never get any response. I go get drunk there and I try to talk to people and they're just like, you need to email our talent buyers. And I'm like, dude, you're talent buyers. Like this used to be Insomnia coffee shop, man. Yeah. Like I threw up in that corner when I was like 15. talent buyers. Yeah, it's just like, yo, like just give me a gig on like a Monday.
Yeah. Let's fucking go. What the fuck?
I know, right? Okay. So when Tyler responded back to me and was just kind of like, sure, when you want to play, I was like, thank fucking God, there's actually still some like people that know how to do it.
I can eat you up some people who will who book you, no problem when we're done. Because I definitely know people. And yeah, I've had the luxury so far personally of people wanting to come to me about stuff, because before I started my band, I was already coming out to a lot of shows and stuff, getting to know everyone. I started the podcast a couple months before my bands did their debut show, so I was kind of already making the rounds of people. I was already kind of talking to everyone, the Pitbulls too, at that time before I was a prospect. And so people already kind of knew who I was, so when people found out, that Scorcher was becoming a thing and we were starting to book shows, I kind of just had people come to me about it. Just out of like, I guess, like the hype, I put myself on. So I admire what you do because you're making the effort to get yourself out there. because I feel like people kind of rely like on their image alone nowadays, which kind of sucks because because I don't care how many people I know in the scene or like all the groups I'm appropriated with or how many shows I go out to, I still am a lot smaller than I think I am. And that's how I always look at it. Because if you don't look at it that way, your ego's going to grow and you're not going to get what you want.
Yeah, sure. Or people are just going to think you're a dick.
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
Which eventually will catch up with you.
Yes.
That's
kind of why I have that stigma of like Scorcher sucks. Fucking blow. Big 3 of garbage. So like, you know, I just kind of always just throw stuff out there like that. But yeah, no, he hit us up, and that's why this shit's happening right now. And I'm actually really excited because I've always wanted to have a punk band. But the thing is I never really knew enough punk bands to get something going. I mean, probably the closest one that I know that I talk to a lot is Hood Rat. But
I like those guys.
But the thing about Hood Rat is that a lot of people consider them like more crossover.
Sure.
So
like old skate thrash.
Yeah.
But I mean, they do like us. I mean, they do like DRI covers and shit. So
they did a cover of Jesus Was a Homo.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. I'm like, God damn, I've always wanted someone to do that cover. I'm really happy someone has the balls to do that cover. I would never do it. I'd be fucking scared in Texas to do it.
We used to do Bullet.
Yeah.
By the Misfits, and like I don't know, recently, even I'm just kind of like, well, nobody can really understand what I'm saying anyway, so I should just keep singing this. But it is so fucking offensive, you know?
Oh yeah. So both y'all coming from Brooklyn, could y'all guys tell me about like what the scene is like up there? Because I heard New York has like a really bitching scene.
It's great.
Yeah, very good scene for lots of things.
Yeah,
pretty much anything.
I don't want to over glorify it because there's so many. It's definitely one of those cities where there's like a gazillion bands, but a lot of them suck, and they think that they're awesome. So that is definitely true.
I heard they're more known for like their hardcore, like kind of like their.
There's some good hardcore.
Yeah.
In the last 6-7 years, though, something great happened. Two separate, like kind of metal specific venues opened. The small clubs, but with like really good, like just good management, invested in good sound systems, got the right people doing the booking, and then a stalwart like metal like pole dancing bar. This place, Lucky 13, that I used to DJ at, moved to a different location that was bigger, so they had bands. So, and they're kind of they sort of formed this like Bermuda Triangle in Brooklyn of these like alternating really killer metal venues. So anyone on the road, like, you know, I mean, obviously there's the like places in Manhattan and Brooklyn and Queens too that have like big bands. Like, so when like, you know, big tours would roll through, you could go see bands there. But it was awesome to see. I mean, I have so much like autographed vinyl from like these little clubs because, you know, these bands that I love would come through and, you know, they're just loading up the van after they play. So I'm like, hey man, sign my record, you know, so. Yeah.
Alright, just going down here now.
Like, what did I see up there? Like, I used to go see Malignancy a lot. That was a band that, they're like a local New York death metal band. It's really great. I think you'd really like them. It's pretty great. It's kind of techie.
Ooh,
but not overly so. It's not like math metal.
Okay, I was about to say not to the point where everyone's doing the same riff.
Yeah. It's like similar. Like I saw them play with Origin a couple times. They're like relatable to Origin.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Definite Cookie Monster action, but a lot of like really cool guitar playing and bizarre bass playing and shit. It's fun.
I've always wanted to go to a show in New York. One of my training partners in Muay Thai back when I was in college, he went to a show. He's like, I got 2 teeth knocked out when I saw Agnostic Front there. I'm like, yo!
I fucking broke a rib at an Agnostic Front show.
Dude,
and it was weird because they opened for Pentagram. Strange pairing, right?
But it
was great. It It was great. No one gave a shit. Everyone was just like,
Oh no, yeah, fuck
yeah.
yeah. Two completely different styles, but
Yeah.
you still get fucked up the same exact way.
No.
dude. The whole time, the whole pentagram show was like,
Yeah, but we're all getting ready for all the pit bulls are getting ready for Slayer.
dude.
in June.
I
That's
tried to
like
get tickets to that, but they were fucking sold out
I'm
like
sure
that,
they were.
man. Yeah.
Pit bulls are lucky. We got a promo code pretty quickly.
Great.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
But like, I was kind of thinking to myself, probably gonna wear a mouthpiece to this one.
That's gonna be brutal.
Yeah.
Have you seen that bill?
It's five
No.
headlining bands.
It's like Slayer, Anthrax, Testament, Lamb of God,
and
Behemoth. Oh my god.
Those are
fucking heavy
every,
shit.
Yeah, like every band on that bill has like done headlining world tours.
Yeah.
So like now they're just all together, and no one can even like comprehend. The bomb factory is probably going to be destroyed.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
You probably want to get out there like 2 hours early just so that you can like get a spot.
Yeah.
Because I went to try to go see Mammoth Grinder this past Thursday because they were playing at Club Dada, and I literally got there like at least an hour before before the show was gonna start. But Tyler, the Creator, sold out the Bomb Factory, and I think there was a show going on at Trees too. So literally every spot in Deep Ellum was taken.
So
The only
take a train
spot,
there.
Right.
the only spots you could get was like way outside Deep Ellum where you'd have to walk for like 15 minutes, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I just kind of just went home like, this is what I get for being scrubbed. Count my L where it goes.
Right.
One thing I wanted to get into you guys about, because I'm not as versed in punk as I should be running a podcast, but I was wanting to get into like your influences, like I guess like who you guys are listening to before, I guess like in the Ideal Runs, I guess how you guys attack your instruments and all that. Like what bands, like what musicians do you really look to and be like, that's cool?
I'll let you go first on this one.
Man, we're both pretty nerdy, in truth.
There's nothing wrong with that. I really have,
So well, as far as this music goes for this band, like I said, it usually comes from a place where I'm trying to write something that's kind of metal, but it always comes out a little bit more tongue in cheek. So I mean, like, man, I always end up going back to Bad Brains, like all the time. I mean, like I think that like their first couple records, like, anything that I'm poking around with, almost like whatever style, they end up like being in my mind a bunch. Don Caballero, Lightning Bolt, like weird, not necessarily punk bands, but you know. But then, man, I mean, we do like that Ramones cover. Like, I'm a huge Ramones fan.
Oh yeah.
It's great, you know. But yeah, and as usual, like Slayer. Man, it's so funny. I'm drawing like the hugest blank, and like all I do is listen to this music all day.
My blank's gonna be longer
Yeah,
than yours.
Agnostic Front, Negative Approach.
Minor
trying
Threat
to-
fan?
What's that?
Minor Threat fan?
Oh yeah, sure. Oh, thanks. Okay, so yeah, so there's that whole. There's definitely like on some of the stuff where we're like slowing it down a little bit, like in like a breakdown or something. Plenty of like Greg Ginn influenced guitar stuff from like Black Flag and.
Love Black Flag.
Yeah, I mean like My War, I think is like one of the best records fucking ever.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
That's Rollins just like having a complete meltdown every track, you know. From that era, like bands like Youth Brigade, I always thought were great. There's I think they were from San Diego, a band called Battalion of Saints, that like, I mean, for that fucking spazzy, just like, you know, like kind of early hardcore stuff, like they're great.
I definitely see that in your drummer.
Zero Boys, yeah, you know, like Zero Boys from Cincinnati. Severed Head of State. Different like grindcore stuff. Like I wish that I really knew how to write that music better, because, you know.
We got a lot of good grind rock bands here.
Yeah, it's true, man. Dude, I really dig some of the shit that I've heard. Like,
Shout to Vault Dweller.
Yeah. Pitched Grave. I dig those dudes. It's another like good grind. Acolyte. It's pretty good. I don't know, man. The list can go on.
Yeah. It's a lot of different. I mean,
Stravinsky.
Yeah. That's funny. No, whenever Mac hit me up for this, I was really just more worried about actually getting a decent bass tone, and like for this quick action, you know, obviously the riffs are all over the place and much easier to play on guitar, by the way. I thought like I just need a really like kind of punchy mid-tone, and I go back. It sucks, like anywhere I go, I always go back, it's going to rhyme here, to Jaco Pastorius, like all the time. And he was just this, you know, phenomenal, you know, very acrobatic bass player who whenever you play that quick, you're just trying to get the notes out. And I really have looked at that tone and like thrown, I kind of looked up some Les Claypool a little bit on some of this stuff, and never followed him too much, but recently I think it's been more applicable here.
Sure.
You know, and more applicable than I've been used to.
Yeah, the metal bass sound is always like very
tricky.
Like,
it's very tricky, particularly, and it's either like really, really like
it can disappear really fast.
Or just I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, I want it to come through, and I want to. I don't want to be.
You want to do the Cliff Burton. You want to.
Yes.
You want people to hear the bass.
Done. There you go.
Yeah.
And I'm still like going between fingers and picking and stuff. Like I have to find a fine line. So.
You have a slightly Steve Harris.
Steve Harris. All right.
Your bassist and you and my bassist would actually mesh pretty well, I think, because my bassist came from a punk band too, and he's played in punk bands for 6 years. He's actually played in a band with the drummer from Corkscrew Nosedive at one point, and
I don't know, Corkscrew Nosedive. That's a great band name.
Dude, you're gonna have to find out some upcoming shows. Those guys are killer.
Okay, yeah,
Those
cool.
are super killer. I definitely want to have them on the podcast at one point. But yeah, my bass is coming from a punk background. It really benefits thrash metal. It really does, because he just knows how to do all like the licks and shit. Like he was like, I can do apes if you need it.
No.
What the fuck?
Like, yeah, just keep doing that. That's whatever you want to do.
But I mean, see, as someone who doesn't know as much punk as I should, as I said before, I kind of wanted to use this episode as a way to kind of like, I don't know, I kind of feel like there's a little bit more of us out like me out there who like punk but don't know the ins and outs. So I definitely going to be using this episode as a prodding type thing.
Cool.
So when it comes to like songwriting and like formulating ideas, like what goes into it, and what do you think like makes it different from metal, if any difference at all?
And once again, it's like it all comes from this like wanting to try to write metal, but you know, it just comes out more punk. But most of the lyrics that I've written,
it's the best part. Sorry.
From back in the day, are all about a zombie apocalypse. Like all of them.
That's awesome.
So it's like you know, it's just about like, you know, like being, you know, trampled upon by zombies, and like one of them's eating your dick, and fucking you're like you're just like and then like that's just like your last thought is just like, this sucks so bad.
It's the exact opposite of what should happen when I die.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It should be something else, not this.
Right. Anything should be sucking my dick except for this decomposing,
exactly,
just a piece of
I'd
shit
really
zombie.
I'd really rather take the fucking calorie. At least I don't.
Oh man.
But yeah, and then there's like tunes like Ignorant, which I've written recently, that are, you know, a little bit more political or something like that, you know, like
It definitely pertains to the current culture. I know I don't kind of talk about this stuff a lot, but it definitely pertains to the current culture, no matter like what side you're on, in my opinion.
yeah,
honestly.
that song specifically was about I have a friend in DC. And I go up there and just drink with him, you know, or at the time I was going down there to drink with him, just hang out, blah, blah, blah. But there's just so many of these fucking, you know, dudes and girls out there, like, you know, they're in their mid-20s, you know, they're making more than 6 figures already. They've got fucking stacks of degrees and shit like that, and like, you know, they're successful as all fuck, you know. But they're dumb as shit, man. They have not one shred of
wisdom.
Yeah, and they have no desire to grow any kind of reasonable, compassionate intellect about anything. You know, like they're...
That always seems to be a problem. I feel like with like, cause I'm 23, so I totally get where you're coming from. You know, like I always feel like my generation is a generation that thinks they know everything. It thinks that, you know, they have everything figured out already so early in life. Yeah. And my thing is like, it's great that, you know, they have the intellect, you know, but like, man, yeah, when it comes to like wisdom and like actually knowing the world and like knowing ins and outs and everything,
asking a question.
It feels like they walk down to the street without looking both ways and get hit by like 3 18-wheelers just going right by them. And it's just like, well, there goes that shit.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, totally. Yeah. You know, and the second 2 18-wheelers were probably being driven by
them texting on their phone.
Exactly. Right. Dude, I think I just ran over somebody that just got ran over.
Fucking take a selfie like in the rearview mirror as like with a dead body of the cat. Like,
you know, the third driver's just kind of like, well, I might as well just get some kicks out of this.
Hey, man,
this is already dead.
Yeah, man, shit, I would like to get some red on my truck.
Yeah. I don't want people to think that I'm not down with running people over.
10 points? Some shit. I think dead body's 5, actually. I don't know. I'm writing a song about that, actually.
Nice.
But, so I kind of feel like I'm already getting a little bit more immersed. I definitely need to come out to more shows. I don't know. As I said, I know some punk bands. I know my boy Tracy, who's my current sponsor right now in the Pitbulls organization, who books a lot of punk bands.
Cool.
Knows a lot of punk bands. Yeah, last night actually a band from Oklahoma came and played. They call it Chokehold Stab.
Chokehold Stab?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Groovy name. And like, yep, over. And they're from Oklahoma. Like cool. I never like I didn't even know Oklahoma had a punk band, but they do, I guess.
Man, I've had this sneaky suspicion about Oklahoma for a little while, as far as that goes. Bands. Yeah. It's just one of those.
They have an interesting mix of bands. Oberon is another band from Oklahoma, and they're like a space stoner band. Like they like it's very stonery, but they talk about like space and like intergalactic travel and stars and shit. They have a song about Pangea, the big old supercontinent, before it like broke apart and shit. Like
tune those guitars down and talk about space, man.
Dude, like, and no, if like they have like their full length album. Oh, by the way, they were on the last episode of the podcast. You should go watch that episode because it was last week's. I did that in their tour bus. They got that bitch for $375 at a fucking police auction, and it sits 16 people.
What kind of bus? It's like a
little tour bus, man.
It's dope, man.
Like literally has like literal seats and like rows and seats. It sits 16 people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking wild as shit. But like if you get their full length album called Pale Blue Dot, they have a picture of Carl Sagan and like a Carl Sagan card. Like it doesn't.
Yes.
Like,
sweet.
Dude.
Sweet.
Yes. And so like the thing is they like and they're
nerds.
Yeah. Fucking doors. We love you guys. Love you, DJ, Adam, Jeremy, Logan. Sorry. But I mean, there's also a death metal band there called Malicide, and they're really fucking good.
Okay.
The thing about Oklahoma is that their beer is garbage.
They're changing that.
It's like 3% or something like that.
3%. They better.
No, they're changing it pretty soon.
I'm very.
Or if it's. Have you been to Oklahoma this year?
Yes.
Okay.
And they were still 3s.
Really?
Yeah.
I did hear that they were changing them, like to basically importing them from Texas. If you will.
They need to like. Wow. Hey, here's the thing. If you're going to Oklahoma from Texas, what's stopping you from stopping at a place in Wichita Falls to have a Shiner 6-pack? Nothing. And taking it over there.
Yep.
Like.
Yeah.
I think they're not understanding the fact that they're going to be losing money.
Yeah.
Because you live next to a state that is just like.
No.
Right.
And they're just like.
Right.
Okay.
And there's so much traffic from North Texas going into like Durant all the time. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're losing money.
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude, I've never drank a Shiner in my life where I was sad about it until I went to Oklahoma. I'm like, this is a 3.5 Shiner? Oh my god! Not even Shiner can pass the test.
Right.
When Shiner can't pass the test, you know everything's coming.
That's brutal. Yeah.
Unfortunately. So great bands. There's not a whole lot of venues from what I've heard. Not from what the guys are telling me. There's one in Lawton. There's a couple in Tulsa, a couple in Oklahoma City.
Yep.
I think that's...
It's a club in Norman that I've played at once, but it was a long time ago.
It may not even be open anymore then, man.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Maybe not, who knows. You know, the one thing about Texas is, you know, Reno's has always been a thing, and, you know, you had Whitson, that's always been a thing.
Yeah.
You know, Tomcats, Rail Club, you know, they're kind of always going to be there. They've always been there. They've withstood the test of time over and over again, even when the scene here was completely dead like a decade or 15 years ago. I don't know, man. It's just, I guess different climates, but because you always see Oklahoma bands come to Texas. They love coming here. I mean, I can't fucking blame them. But for some reason, because I went to Lawton, that's why I know about this shit, to see Oberon with Silver Tongue Devil and a Stynax. And I traveled with the guys in a Stynax, helping with their gear.
Yeah, I've seen them a couple times.
Yeah,
they're great.
Stynax is my favorite local death metal band here in the state. Just so good.
Yeah.
But I remember going with them there, and it's called Railhead Saloon.
Yeah,
Nice.
I've actually wanted to see shows there. I haven't made it out there yet, but
Okay, this place is funny as shit. No offense if you're watching this, guys. But essentially, the stage is fucking cool. I have never seen a cooler stage in my life. It has a lot of room. It's very wide.
okay.
There's these weird little holes though that I have a feeling that people have fallen into before while playing. But it's okay.
Trapdoors? What?
No, not really.
These guys suck.
Get out of here. But you go in, there is no ATM. Right off the bat, you're like, oh,
Okay.
gotta find a gas station around here.
So it's cash only, I assume.
I didn't pay anything when I went.
Okay.
I think it was a free show. But little bar, tiny little bar. Like it takes up like the stage is here, and you're standing. Okay. Actually, no. Back up from the bar. The standing room is like this wide. Like here's the stage. This is the fucking standing room. It's like that. In the middle of the goddamn, well, not in the middle of it, but at the end of the standing room, they clearly say this is the end of the standing room is a fucking sofa. I have never seen a fucking sofa in a venue before. It's like shit, like this. Like my first instinct when I see a sofa in a bar is bed bugs. I'm not.
Or worse.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worse than that, but if it does, I don't want to fucking know it. But no, I'm not sitting in that shit. So I'm like, okay, we don't have a lot of mosh room here, but you know, I'll make it work. I've always made shit like that work. Really cool painting in the back. They had a really cool painting in the back. I took a picture of it. I forget. It was from some sort of movie, and I can't remember what it was. You know, got 2 little bathrooms. Now the DJ system. You know how like when if you're like Whitson or Reno's or Three Links or whatever, they have like the sound guys also like the DJ playing songs in the background as like bands are loading in, loading out, intermissions. Okay, they don't have that. They have a hipster jukebox system. Okay. You got to download the app.
Oh no.
To pick songs on. And so the regulars that go to this place are like your jabroni tap out homies.
Sweet. So you listen to some like Creed.
Creed, 5 Finger Death Punch, Disturbed, Godsmack. Yeah, and they're playing all that shit, and I'm like, God damn, I can't handle this anymore. And I downloaded the app. I literally blew $10 on it just so that I could hear Chemical Corpse.
Nice.
And I'm just like, sorry, we're doing it my way now. And so Santa comes on, and we're getting, song. It's bumping hard as fuck. My buddy Logan, the drummer in STD, shout out, dude. Grabs me by the shoulder and starts headbanging. I kind of felt him tug me, so I'm like, oh, pit time. I shove him. I start going like a couple laps. I stop, start headbanging. I look to my right, and one of the guys like, hey man, no moshing. And I'm like,
Whoa.
Excuse me? And he's like, yeah, dude, we don't do any mush here. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, cool. I turn back to the front, listen to the band. The bartender comes darting out. Gets in front of me. It's like, yeah, we don't no mosh in here. We don't do that. And I'm trying to watch the show at this point. Like I've conceded to there's no moshing, and I don't want to start an argument with anybody. So I'm just trying to watch my boys now. Well, now she's like in my face about it, and I'm like, dude, I get it. I'm good. No moshing. Yeah, and then she thought I was mad. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not mad. I have my hands up here like this for a reason. I'm good, man. Like I'm good. I just want to watch my boys. She eventually left, and like went back to bartending. But I'm like, man, someone must have gotten hurt here, and then their butt hurt ass must have sued the fuck out of this woman.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Yeah, that just blew me away.
And that still stands today? That's still a policy there?
Yeah, but from what I've heard, maybe not the best idea to talk about on here. But
talk about what on here?
You'll find out after the episode, my good friend. But honestly, seeing that venue, and despite all that, I would actually not mind playing there because I just really like the way that stage looked.
Cool.
So I don't know.
I see. I've always been intrigued because I see like kick-ass bands booked there. I almost went maybe 6 months ago, maybe not, a little bit more. Do you know Dead Rising?
Yes!
I think they're a great band, and I've never seen them.
No.
I got their CD after showing up to a Gas Monkey show where they played and missed them. But then after getting the CD, I was like, these guys are fucking great. Yeah. So,
I really wish they'd bring it back. I went to their last show in November.
See, I didn't even know that they dissolved.
Damn.
It's a shame.
Yeah, they were really good. But two of the guys in that band still playing Iron Destruction.
Okay.
And they're going to be playing at the DFW Metal Fest on the 9th of March. And they did have a couple shows actually in February, and they're fucking killer. They're like brutal death metal. Like the vocalist, Stephen Mashburn, we call him Mud. That dude has probably some of those brutal gutturals you will ever hear in the scene. Like that dude just gets nasty with it.
Awesome.
Shout out to you, homie. You need a. Can't wait to. Oh, I don't want to spoil another episode. I did. I already did by saying that. I'm on a horrible track run. So guys, I got footage from the. Oh yeah, no, go ahead and play it. That's like the coolest shit.
I cracked.
That is the coolest shit ever, right? I got that as a Christmas present from my aunt and my uncle and my cousin, and they got it at a place in the Parks Mall in Arlington.
Oh wait.
I forgot where they got it. Shit! But
I was born with 2 right hands.
Which? So guys, I got footage from the Brain Dead Brewing show that we'll be showing off. And normally I would only do one song, but being a punk band, I feel like I would be doing a complete injustice if I only picked one of the 4 songs I recorded.
They're only a minute long.
Exactly, so I'm just gonna fucking have all of them play.
Okay.
And it's gonna be slewed out.
I think we sucked pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah, but that's just what I remember.
Brandon?
Yeah. I just forgot a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And because the songs are only a minute, pretty much if you mess up once, the song's over. Yeah.
I don't know if you suck. I mean, you did a really good job of covering it up.
Cool. We're very good at pretending like.
Well, punk. We'll see. That's what I noticed with punk is that when punk makes a mistake, punk is really good about is better about covering up than metal is.
Yeah, metal is just.
Yeah.
Catastrophe.
When we've messed up a song before, I felt it. I have no fucking music theory at all, and I felt that shit. I'm like, oh, shit. But no, y'all played off really well. So real quickly before we let you go, why don't you guys, promote where we can listen to your music, upcoming shows that you guys have. Let's get you guys on the map. So what's coming up with you guys? What's the plans for the year?
April 29th, maybe, at Trade Winds in Oak Cliff.
Word. Okay. Cool.
Have you ever been to Trade Winds?
Trade Wind sounds familiar.
It's fun, dude. It's a dump.
Fuck yeah. Like shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty dumb. It's on Davis and Oak Cliff.
Yeah,
Further
but
down.
it's a place that's old as dirt, man.
Fuck yeah.
And it's this dude Justin Bernardino, I think is his name, is the new owner and like GM, and he's the coolest dude, and he's a really righteous, like he's another one of those people like I just contacted him and I was like, hey man, like I would really like to play at your place, and he responded right away.
Yeah.
Like we do like a surf rock tribute band as well, and like we played a show there, and then he found out about Vile and Devoid, and he was like, man, I'd love to have you guys on a metal show. So some band from like St. Louis is coming through on a Tuesday.
Ooh.
I think we're gonna open up for them.
Cool.
And
we got a band camp, don't we?
we have a
that's where
we do have a band camp.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and that's where I got that's where I pulled the track from.
Cool.
You can read the lyrics on there too. It's quite a
Yeah, all that poetry.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah. So guys, check these guys out. Try to make it out to that show that they just advertised, because I'm definitely gonna try my hardest to make
cool,
it,
man.
because it's gonna be a lot of fun.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
I always love dumpy venues. I definitely want to see how this shit works.
That place is fun.
You will
That
not
place
be
is
disappointed.
a blast.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I just want to thank you guys for coming on. It was an absolute blast.
Thanks, Billy. Really
Guys,
fun, man.
DFW Punk Mayhem, man. I'm fucking happy to finally have a punk band on here. But next episode, we're going back into the nitty gritty. If you listen to the beginning episode, you probably already know who's coming on. They released an album earlier in January that we're going to be kind of celebrating for. So get out your hammers, because we're going to fucking throw down in this motherfucker next Saturday. I will see you then.
Oh yeah.